But anyways, so we're talking about Rudy's thing. He wants $1,000. I bought it and not bought it today. Like I had an in on it. I'm not gonna say who, but I'm gonna shout out to him if he listens because he was being super cool about it. But I chickened out, and I think it's gonna be worth a fortune. And I'm gonna eat crow, as they say, for not buying it because I already even sent the money. Like I even let the money go. Like it was done. Like I actually had to ask for it back. Like I backed out hard. So
well, at least you did it before committing fully.
Well, yeah, I wanted to make sure he had time to try to make his move because like people were making like $500 off this.
Yeah, I saw people like trying to make $1,000 off of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know if they went for that. I can't wait. I don't think he's gonna burn any. Personally.
I don't think he will either.
I think he's gonna make $1.5 million.
Like, I don't see how that's good for anybody but Rudy. He already told us. Yeah, it's great for him. Good for him. I mean, he's done a lot for the gaming community in general.
Yeah,
a lot of the gaming communities that were involved.
And the fact that this is actually old. This is 001. If you go look, Go Bananas is the first promo they showed, and it's 002. So that doesn't matter. We're not live.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted it for that. Not to mention, I wanted to put my money down and be like, I believe in this game because I do wholeheartedly. I just don't care about if it is Rudy's face on it. I don't care about that. And I was gonna look to flip it, and you know what I mean, and like, I don't know.
It's probably not worth the hassle.
I don't know where I'd sell it. You know what I mean? Like that's a big sell. You know, the places I frequent to sell them, I probably isn't buying that. You know what I mean? No. So like, and then like, I don't know. I just I chickened out. I do think it's a good purchase because even if everybody buys it, 1,500 is not many.
No, I think it's a great purchase as an investment. If somebody's got access to it and you got the money to burn, do it. It's gonna probably end up at least doubling your money.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it'll happen fast.
You double your money.
And I think it'll happen fast.
And good for you. Plus, you're gonna get to see, especially anybody who's a content creator, whoever gets to open one of those first is going to be the first person to reveal the next gem. Has it already
they already showed it.
Oh, did they already?
Yeah, they already showed it.
Oh, I didn't even get to see it. I was at work all day.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like a yellow wrapping, and it has this and the story, which
I'm actually more excited about the way that they did those cards. Those cards, I think, those are the cards that I actually am interested in.
I loved it. I loved it.
But I don't shop online, so I've never become a member of any of these online shops. Right. I support my LGSs, and I think that that's the problem with this. That's a great cash grab for Rudy, and I'm glad that he gets his come-ups. He's done a lot for the gaming community.
Yeah, no,
he deserves to make his money.
He's fine by having it.
I don't care that he's making his money. I wish they would have announced at the same time that those 3% that he's talking up, well, not really talking up. He was more talking down the 97, but I get it. You live in a world of trolls. You're going to end up getting salty and sarcastic and snarky. It's going to happen. So, whatever. Like, however you want to, pitch it. But those 3%, if they would have announced at the same time that they were going to release the same kit, except instead of Rudy, there was James White promo. And they were going to release those to the 3% of stores that took the risk.
Now, don't forget, we don't know it's Rudy. We don't know it's Rudy. It might be James
he said White. That it was Rudy the Gem Keeper.
Is it? Oh, is it called Rudy the Gem Keeper?
I thought it was
just the Gem Keeper. But if it's Rudy,
I think it would have been like James White the Gem Maker and Rudy the Gem Keeper.
Right.
And they gave the 3%. If they were announcing that at the same time, I'd have no fuss whatsoever with this. I don't care that it's $1,000. I'm not going to buy it, nor would I. Right now, I currently am not in a spot where I'd waste $1,000 on it. I just don't have the $1,000 to invest. I think in the long run it'd be worth it. I don't know if I could commit that much money to it and wait for the money to come back to me.
Right.
I'm just not in that kind of spot right now. But I'm okay with the $1,000 price.
It's fine.
The exclusivity of it, I think, is gonna just add a little shade to the game.
It's
and
an
the shade's already
unplayable
taken
card.
a couple bruises recently with the
It's an unplayable
Insta-ban
card.
and-
It doesn't affect anything. It
Yeah.
literally doesn't affect anything but the
still for
collector market.
completionists,
Yeah,
you know, some
collector
people
market.
are gonna like it.
Yeah.
But I don't like the
Whale's
fact that it's
gonna whale.
And
I don't know what to
I'm
tell
fine
you.
with whales gonna
I'm
whale.
with
I'm
you
saying,
with the, okay, you're
why
gonna just talk
can't-
over me the whole time. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll do the Bob show. Have at it. Have at it.
All I was saying was they're essentially saying if you're not supporting Rudy, then you're not gonna have access to this promo. That's what I don't like
Yeah,
about
sure.
it.
But this
So
it's a
I
Rudy
support
promo.
the game, and that's an LSS promo. So if I want to complete the game, now I got to figure out a way to Patreon in the next 24 hours to get on there to get this promo. Like, I don't like that exclusivity of it.
Sure.
I don't like that. I think that that's negative for the game.
Again, you can't do anything with it besides collect it.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
still, as a fan of the game, I usually like to try to collect everything.
Same. Like I said, I already bought it.
Yeah.
I had it, and I decided against it because I just don't care enough to spend $1,000 on one card. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is, and I think it's a good buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good buy. But
I do too. I think it'll make money.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying, but what I've been trying to say, anyways, is that you're looking at it as a single thing. This was a single marketing thing that they came up with years ago. This is the 001 promo. The first promo release was 002. This has been going on since 2019 or before. This promo. So I'm not mad about this. Doesn't bother me. Let him have it. I don't care about that it's not exclusive because he was part of the 3% that did it, and he was probably the biggest person to push the game at that moment. The stores that told him no weren't pushing the game like Rudy would push it. Rudy was the biggest thing that probably happened to that game in North America at that time when they made this promo. This is before the Monarch blow up. You gotta think, this is a guy with a tiny company out of New Zealand that got one of the bigger Magic the Gathering YouTubers to be like, yeah, I'll do your game and pump it. That was a huge deal at that moment for him. Everyone else he talked to, I don't know who he talked to, but the other 3%, I don't think could do a fraction of what Rudy did for that game at that moment, and the reason that they probably came up with the promo and the whole idea. 100%.
Those 3% are the people that actually took the risk.
I
In my eyes,
I understand that.
Rudy's got the money.
I understand
that risk was not even really that much of a risk, I don't think, for him.
Okay.
Those
But who said they're not
3%,
getting something?
see-
You're totally missing that. Who said they're not getting anything down the line? This is just Rudy's thing. One thing. This is it. Who's to say that the LGSs that have the old gem numbers don't get a special kit, or they start sending special things to the LGSs? No one said they're not getting anything. All we're looking at is this one thing that Rudy's trying to make $1 million off of. That's what's going on. That's it.
Oh, well over $1 million.
Yeah, well over $1 million if he sells it all.
I mean, he's got 16K tied up in it. He's got to sell 17 of them.
Yeah. Oh, he'll sell 17. He's going to sell them all. I don't think he's burning any.
No,
I don't think he. I honestly don't think he's burning any.
I don't think so.
But even at that rate, this is still an ultra rare card. If this game makes it 5 more years, this card is crazy rare. It's crazy rare. No, by that time it'll be set in people's collections that they're not selling. It won't be on the market. It'll be almost name your price, even at $1,500. It's just not money. It's just not many, and he's keeping 10, so it's not even that many hitting the market. And then I don't know. There's gonna be flippers, of course, but my point is no one said LGSs aren't getting anything. I understand even this promotion right now, and I understand what you're saying, but you also have to look at where would you put your money in the middle of a second coming of a pandemic, let alone the first coming of a pandemic. You have to put it towards things that are actually viable at that moment. LGSs are getting locked down, not getting locked down, getting locked down, not getting locked down. New Zealand was just shut down for 5 weeks. Nobody did anything. Like, they weren't even doing YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Like, they did nothing for 5 weeks. Why would you dump an entire marketing campaign into something that might be shut down in a month? Let's just say that this wasn't planned like this, and this is just all a thing that they put together right now, and they decided to cut out the LGSs. I understand it right now. Like, what if everything shut down for 3 months and they just put fucking $100,000 into this marketing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they printed this thing, like you said, set it up for all these places, and then COVID gets so bad everything shuts down. Now they dump that money into nothing. They can't lose pushing it online. Not to mention, they don't... Everything's good for cards as long as they can figure out how to not to saturate the market to the point where no one can make money and kind of get the big guy, Channel Fireball, under control. Those are the things hurting the game itself, I think, right now. This exclusivity, again, cool with that. I hope they do send stuff to LGSs, but I understand why they wouldn't at this very moment. Especially with the thing. I can't believe callings are still going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting for all these things. We got 2 more weeks. We just gotta make it. But, like, I don't think their plan is not to support LGSs because, again, they came in like that's the most important thing. It has to make sense to dump the dollars in there and not risk it, right? Like, it's a big risk when you're running into, you know what I mean? Ohio has 7,000 new cases a day right now. You know what I mean? That's like what's going on here. Yeah. And again, New Zealand shut down. You put all this marketing in, and then you get 5 weeks where no one left their house. Like, what did that do? But it would push this way, and then hopefully, when this clears up, I can't speak for them, but I believe they have something in line that's going to help all the LGSs too. Yeah, because that's like the point, right?
If they do, then I'll be a little less irritated with the exclusivity. I just don't think that, like, I feel like they're almost tying it together. Like, if you want the LSS product, you now have to be on this if you want to be able to buy these exclusives. This is like I heard about this from a Magic player. Like, looks like you guys got secret layers now, except yours are $1,000. That's how I heard about this, because we were filming when everything got posted, or when the video came out. So that's how I heard about it. Was last night when I got home, I had a message from somebody telling me that, like, you got secret layers, but at least ours aren't $1,000.
But it's not a secret layer. It's a Rudy promo that he turned into $1,000. He could have charged anything he wanted for it. He put $16,000 and he has 1,500 of them. You know what I mean? He could charge $1.50 for each of them and gave it to everybody. He did not do that. This is his. This isn't. Again.
But the LSS stamp, it makes it a product.
They gave him a promo for pumping the game 3 years ago. Like,
the stamp still, like, it still makes it seem like
I don't.
You kind of got.
I don't care about this card at all. I can't play it. It's not a game piece. It would sit in my book. It would sit in my book, and I don't have the money to collect every card that just sits in a book. That's not... Like, I collect the game. I am a collector. I am not going to seek this card out for more than $1,000. If it drops to 6, I might own that card.
Oh, I don't even think of that. I don't think I would even buy it there.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't actually have interest in the card.
Right.
I just think that this exclusivity of this, after they just took, like, the little bit of a bruise from the Instaban, I just think that it just is a negative thing. I don't think that this is a good thing for the game. I think this is a bad thing for the game, and it's bad for the community. I think this is only good for Rudy.
I think this is fantastic for the game, because guess what part of the market is dead right now? The collector market. Here's a real big collector to put eyes back on the game for things like that. Where's our $2,000 legendaries? They don't exist. They haven't existed in any of those things. Even the people that paid for them in Monarch got burnt from all that. It did. I don't know. Forgot what I was saying.
Like, even if LSS was doing it, I don't think I'd be as salty. Because I don't have to pay for a membership to buy it.
But again, that's Rudy doing it. That's Rudy doing it. It's the same thing as Team Covenant giving out a promo per box that they got exclusively. So are they bad? They don't charge me anything. I just get it with the box that I get it map. You know what I mean? Like,
And, you know, a couple different distributors get a couple different promos for that. I'm okay with that.
So why is that fine for them but not him? Because he's charging.
No,
But that's
I'm
all
okay
him.
with him having the promo, like the normal promos too. If you want to give him a special buy box and Covenant a special
But
buy
this
box,
is the same
this
thing.
is a product that's only released on his shelves that you had to be a member to him.
He made the product.
But
he
the
put $16,000 to make it.
the company logo on it, not
he
him.
paid them for that. He paid them for that. They gave him a... I don't understand why you're upset that he has a promo. I just don't understand. He is the reason they're charging for it. They gave it to him to do what he wanted to do with it. He's like, I'm going to charge $1,000. That's not LSS. And then,
But
what,
the
is
logo
LSS supposed to
makes
be
it
like,
bad.
no, we don't want your $16,000 to make this box? What are you talking about? Like... He admitted that he paid them to make the box. This isn't some big thing that they're in together. They made him a promo. They talked about how they wanted to release it. And he's going forward with it for the 2-year anniversary. And he decided that it's Rudy. This is what he does. Like, this is what he does. This is why I backed out. Because this is just what he does. And it works. There's a bunch of people that love him. The card's going to be worth money. Guaranteed. I think he sells out. I think he has to tell people he doesn't have anymore. I think that actually happens.
I think he sells out in under 2 hours.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I don't think that it makes it past most people's bedtime.
Right. But if this wasn't Rudy,
except me,
none of these would get destroyed. They would all be handed out for dumb reasons. Like Donnie had them. They would be promos that came out as random prizes at the tournaments. It's only because it's Rudy. That's it. Like, if Donnie got this, being Donnie, and he got his exclusive promo, he would do it the other way. None would get destroyed. Everyone would get them. You know what I'm saying? This is literally, you were mad at Rudy and you were pointing at LSS and being like, you suck. This isn't it. It's the other shit.
I'm not saying they suck. I love the game.
I'm
just
not talking
think
about
that
the
this
game.
is
We're not talking about the
negative for
game. I'm not talking about the game. I'm not discussing the game. The game's great. We're past that. We're talking about the move being made right now. You're saying it's LSS, but I think LSS gave him this stuff 3 years ago, and he made the decision on how it's being done. Like, it's not LSS being like, yeah, charge $1,000. Haha, fuck them. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I don't think that they had anything to do. I mean, I don't know if they had. I don't even care if they did.
Okay, but again, you're saying it's bad for the game, but LSS has nothing to do with it besides they made a promo for a guy that decided to do this. That's all I'm saying.
I say from somebody that's looking into coming into a market, I don't think I would come into a game. Like, if I was thinking about it right now, and I found out that I had to be a member to buy a card, and I know that I'm a completionist and I want everything, and I had to be a member of this guy's club that I don't even buy online because I support my LGSs.
Then
So
you're
I
probably
don't
not a
buy anything
completionist, because what
online.
about the shit in Japan that comes out and stuff like that? I'm not talking about this game. If you're a completionist, you're talking about other games too. You don't just support LGSs if you're a completionist. There's promos that come out in other countries. Even in this, there's a Mandarin Fate for Scene that came out that came out in Mandarin.
Well, I only collect something I can read.
Oh, but
So
hold
I
on, you're a
collected in my
completionist. You have to
language.
get that one card with that special art, right? You're a completionist. So they can't print special stuff in other countries because you don't only go to your LGS. Hold on, I just want to get your story. So you only go to your LGS, but you're a completionist that doesn't take care of the stuff that's actually in the game. But you're mad about this one.
I just think it's negative.
It is negative.
Taking stuff.
There
it's-
is a negative connotation to it. There
Like,
100% is.
I
But
think it's terrible for the game because the logo's on the box.
it has nothing to do. It has literally nothing to do with the game because it is a non-playable piece of cardboard.
But people that are coming in don't see it that way.
You're talking about such a small fragment of people. The percentage of people you're talking about that even give a shit about this card are the 1,500 people that are getting it plus whoever else. No, and most of those people don't care about it. They just want to make the extra money. Most people don't care about this card. I'm telling you right now, it's all about trying to find the people that do and make the money.
Yeah.
Especially if it has Rudy's stupid face on it, like.
No, like, I have no issue with it. Like, I honestly have no issue with Rudy. I just don't like to have a membership to buy a product.
But it has nothing to do. It's not a product. It's a promo. It's unplayable. You're mad about something you'll never use ever, and I understand you're not mad about it, and you're talking about completion.
Like, I'm not buying it.
I understand.
I can't even afford.
But again, completionists are
waste the money.
What percentage of the people playing this game are completionists to the point that they're like, "This is fucking bullshit. That I can't get Rudy's face on a card I can't play." Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can play this in even Blitz only, I agree with you.
Like, I know players that would want to have this card just to have it.
There's a bunch of people.
I
almost got it just to have it.
I mean, and the fact that... So you aren't a member of the club, so you want to buy a product, so now you're scrambling to find somebody who can buy you the product, and that's how you found it.
I don't know. You're looking at it that it's this product, and it's only a product because Rudy made it a product. It was a promo for him to do what he wanted. Literally, it's not a product. Rudy made it a product. He spent $16,000 to make it a product with stuff going on in it, in combination with them. 3 years ago, they discussed this promo. It's a promo that they gave, just like Team Covenant gets one promo per box that they get. That's it. That's all that gets printed. They never print that card again. That's it. Like, at least that's the way they pitch it. That card, I have a bag of them right now. I'll show it to you right now. That card is exactly what you're saying you hate, because you have to be a part of the subscription to them to get it, which is, they don't charge you for that, but you have to get in on the waiting list or you don't get these cards. These cards are that exclusive. There's only as many as they get boxes.
Yeah.
No more, no less. So same thing, right? That's what I'm saying. They do it everywhere. TCG just had a playmat that only 1,000 got made. And you had to buy that thing. So I have to buy that to get this playmat? Like, the game does that. They want things to be worth money. The game wants that.
You don't have to buy a membership to TCG to be able to buy the playmat. That's my problem with it. That's the exclusivity of having to buy a membership. If Rudy,
there was 100 people offering
Rudy
to buy
said
it for $500 extra. I'm just saying, like, you didn't need the membership.
Even if Rudy opened it up to just anybody that's got a LSS number.
Sure.
First 1,500 gets it.
Sure.
I'd be fine with that.
Sure.
I would be fine with it.
But this isn't LSS. You keep going back to it's LSS. It's not LSS. This is Rudy that was like, I'm going to charge $1,000 for this and see what happens. Then I'm going to burn the rest to make them worth something. He even said it's an experiment. Like, he even admits he has no idea what this is going to do. I think it's a win. I think
it's going to be a huge win for him. But
again, you keep acting like LSS made this
like
happen.
I think they're going to lose potential players over it.
For a card you can't play, they're going to lose players. That makes 0 sense. 0 cents. 0 cents.
The Magic Read what the card does. Players.
Read what the card does. You can't... I don't even know anyone that can afford to make that card work. Like, you have to have gem mints of every card for the card to even play. If you wanted to be like, well, I'm going to play this card anyways. Like, you know what I mean? The card is literally just a collector. It's it. Yeah. There's not a player in the world that's going to be like, no, I'm done with your game for this card that I'll never get to play. That makes no sense.
I'm telling you from a standpoint of somebody who I've had intended to teach this game looks at this as a super negative thing. Like, you guys have secret layers now, and they're $1,000.
It's not secret layer. It's a Rudy promo that Rudy did the thing. It's not like.
But that's what the people outside looking in see a stamped product.
That's what your Magic player friend that probably looks at the game negatively has to say, Because there are those people. Again, I can't listen to a Magic podcast without them saying a nice thing and then being shitty about the game because they refuse to be cool about the game. It was just something for them to jab at you, man. It's not a secret layer because LSS isn't selling it.
I just like
they're
it. Just
not selling it.
I don't know.
But they're not selling it. You have a problem with the way Rudy is handling his promo. That's it. It has nothing to do with anything else. And then, like I said, LSS does want cards to be worth money. And they said they did discuss getting rid of the cards that don't sell. Like, that was an idea of theirs. But they want cards to be money. They, like, literally say that all the time. There is a point to having these cards that are worth money. And I think they do an excellent job of making sure the cards that are worth the most money aren't
necessary.
Staples
They're
to the
not
game.
required.
They don't hurt somebody that's playing the game. And I can't get behind you saying you are going to lose players over this. You are going to lose collectors over this. You will lose completionists that, but those are collectors. But those are the people you're losing. You're not losing somebody that enjoys the game over a card that won't affect their gaming at all. It doesn't affect their gaming at all. None. Like, you can't play it.
Okay, so we're gonna lose the people that are buying the boxes after boxes after boxes. That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm saying
So the bigger
some
whales,
of them.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna lose these people.
Well, no, they're probably buying it. They're in.
If they can get it, but if they can't, what do you think?
They probably
that those
belong
people
to that
will do?
dude forever. We still have to remember how small this game is. Like, this is happening now with still a very small player base.
What I'm
Like-
saying though is, so if you lose, let's say you lose a couple of those, I'm gonna buy 5% of the print run because I'm gonna hoard it in a warehouse or
Sure.
something type of people. Then you get an entire wave of product that people get stuck with on their shelf.
What? But why? Why? There's players that like to buy it too, and as long as the boxes stay cheap, they're buying it. That's what I'm saying. It's not all whales buying that much stuff.
But I mean, if you lose somebody that's buying 10% of a print run over something
But
stupid
if they're
like
that big of a whale, they bought that card. They just spent $1,500 to get it. That's
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
did-
saying.
2,000, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the percentage of people that are as mad as you're making out this, like, big loss is so small. Because they either can afford it, can't afford it, and it doesn't matter, right? Like, I fall in that. Like I said, I could have did it, but I didn't really have the money. I was gonna spend the weekend selling everything I could to recoup that. That's why I backed. That was the big reason I backed out, is because it was gonna be a crunch to get it back. Because I don't have it, but like I wanted it. I was in, and he gave me an out, and I took it. But again, the percentage of the people, and again, like you say, player, and like I think that's where my my big backlash is.
How about your consumer? You're losing potential consumers.
Potential consumers.
Potential triers. Potential parents looking into buying their kids' games from the card shops that might do researches. My brothers do that kind of stuff, and they're I don't want to buy Pokemon right now because blah blah blah. And I'm like, really? That worries you that much? But that's what parents think about. So you're losing these players.
But you can't get this card other than
players.
this. So it doesn't affect anything you go into the store and purchase. That's what I'm saying. It's a promo.
Yeah.
That's off to there. Like, what, okay. So which grandma or mom is finding Rudy and being like, oh, well, that's absolutely too expensive. They don't know who that dude is. They have no idea that even exists.
If they look up to do a product, that's unrealistic. I realize that one's off. Like, sometimes my brothers will research, and they wouldn't buy their kids Pokemon because they were afraid that people were going to take them from them or steal their Pokemon stuff because of
and that's
what was going on.
That's fair.
And they hear about that kind of stuff. So like, in the gaming community, if you go into the same card shop every week and you are looking into different games and things like that, and you got a salty shopkeeper upset about some promo that was released only to an online gamer, and I think that just, and if they would have released a 2-year anniversary card and just announced it all at once, and it was coming out same time, 2-year anniversary, card shops are going to get a similar one or whatever.
I agree
I'd be
with
fine
you
with
100% on all this. Like, everything that has to do with the LGS. But again, that's us assuming this isn't coming down the line.
And it could be.
And I hope it is.
But the
I think it has
anniversary's coming.
I think it has. Well, it doesn't have to
it's
be
tomorrow,
for the anniversary. Right? Yes.
Like
the 11th.
So, like, it was like this is the anniversary celebration.
Right.
I would like to see, like, if there's gonna be, because it does still have the flesh and blood back to the card, right? It is officially a flesh and blood promo card.
I believe so. Yeah.
So it still has the card back.
Sure.
It's still a flesh and blood card.
I understand all that.
So I just, if you're cool with doing a promo for the second anniversary, just send a promo to the same 3%.
It doesn't have to be for the anniversary though. Like, when's it this year they decide to send North America a special, instead of the mats that they send out to everybody, each region gets a special mat. Now you have a mat that's coveted by, Asia. And then we have one that in Asia that we love. And now there's a commodity, and like that would be special. You know what I mean? Instead of these, like, here's a Lexi kit. Be like, well, here's a Lexi kit, but 3 different arts, and they go to different regions. And like, there's a million things they can do to like help promote LGSs through the same thing. No LGS worth the salt is going to do what's going on right here. This is strictly because it's Rudy. Yeah. Any LGS that got these promos would have did the right thing. And, well, not everyone, but like the ones worth a shit are going to make these promos to engage a community, to grow a community, and that's what they're supposed to do. Again, Rudy's the evil investor, so when they talked, I'm sure all this plays into what that promo was supposed to be. Because again, he said that James White was like, we should destroy, X amount of them and this and that. But again, I think that just played on what it is. And when you go back to when it was, and them making this card up and making this deal and coming up with this idea for promotion, it makes complete sense if there was legit 3% of the people that he talked to. And Rudy being as prominent as he is, who else, which other big person took him on first? Because Channel Fireball didn't happen until Crucible pretty much came out. That was the next big move they made, which ended up being a very bad move for the market, because that's what's really hurting is Channel Fireball. But I think, and I don't know when Team Covenant got in with them, but I think Rudy was ahead of them. I think he was literally like the first big person. And when you're doing that and you're sitting there having these conversations with the guy that's literally going to give 300, and I can't remember what he has, I'll have to look, but he has like 300K followers or whatever. He's putting, and they're watching, and they're Magic players and card players and all this stuff, and he's about to show all those people, and you only have 3% of the people you called, which is probably how many, 1,500 people? Or 1,500 you called, you got 3% of that. That's such a small number. Rudy was for sure probably the biggest thing they had. And now you're in phone calls with him, and you guys are joking about this promo, and you're like, that's a great idea, we're going to do it. Here you go, here's your promo. All makes sense. You know what, you should destroy some of them. You're the evil investor guy, so let's do it, and it's a gem thing, and it's a joke on it. All makes sense, like all the way down the line. And when you're doing that, and 3% of the people answer, do you think that game's as big as it is right now? Because I know they didn't think that. I know they didn't think that when they discussed all this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think this would be $1,000 promo if Flesh and Blood didn't blow up in the Monarch period, and like the game getting bigger and the market getting bigger, even with the cards not being worth money. But the problem is the people are leaving because cards aren't worth money. How do you do that? You inject a card that's going to be worth a bunch of money. Now you have a thing that collectors are looking at again. Now they're looking at Flesh and Blood again. Again, it's an eye shift, because right now everybody's looking at MetaZoo, because MetaZoo is just like the thing. It's $400 for the new set that drops in 2 weeks, like for the box. They're $400 already. Like
nobody even knows if the game's gonna be good.
It's not good. It's Magic with a fourth wall that I think's good. Well, it might be good. The thing is, and the thing is the guy wants it to be an IP. He doesn't want it to be a card game. He wants it to be Pokemon. The card game is just how he started it. Like, it's a Pokemon ripoff. Like, that's what the game is. These weird creatures and shit. You know what I mean? He wants it to be an IP. there's a chance this is the biggest thing to come out of this year is MetaZoo. Like, it starts coming out with shows and whatever else. Like, picture what this will end up looking like. It'd be crazy. So they have a real good shot because they're pursuing it from an IP perspective, not from a game perspective. They want people to fall in love with the characters. And Flesh and Blood has stepped into the competitive scene that Magic dropped, and they're leaning hard into that. Now, let's not forget that Magic decided that they don't need that because the casual market is that. So they're leaning super hard into another thing that's not set for... Not set, I don't know how to say it, but it's not targeting casual people and stuff. They have $1 million tournament series going on. You know what I mean? They're pushing the thing Magic left behind, and that's what they leaned into. And then you have MetaZoo, like I said, they're just like, we want to be an IP. Like, the game doesn't have to be amazing if your kid falls in love with Mothman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if your kid loves Mothman and buys a Mothman plushie and does this, and then I have a cartoon with Mothman, he's gonna buy the cards. He's gonna play the game at some point, even if the game's shit. Like, and I'm not saying it is, because I haven't sat and played it. But even if the game's absolutely terrible, 7-year-old Timmy's probably gonna want to check it out when he's been watching Mothman on Netflix. You see? And, like, Flesh and Blood doesn't have that. Like, they have characters that you get to come with, but they're not pushing the IP. Like, there's not a face of Flesh and Blood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody thinks of a different character. But yeah, I don't know, man. We rambled on for like 40 minutes about this. It was good, but like I said, I agree with you 100%. And, with like, they have to do something for the LGS. They have to.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you. If this is all they do, and that it's a bad look, especially with the way they portrayed themselves as caring about LGSs, and this not pushing it, and the thing with they have a lot of bad looks, but like, let's not forget when they signed with Channel Fireball, I was cheering for them. That was big. Like, Channel Fireball just picked up Flesh and Blood. You know what I mean? That was huge, and whatever their deal was, and we don't know any of this stuff, but like, that hurt the game. But like, I was cheering that on. That was a big move. Same thing with, you know what I mean? Probably same thing with the 3% getting into Rudy. Like, Rudy picking him on was huge. I don't know. And maybe it was the same thing. Maybe they came up with this promo idea, and then Rudy like called him out on it in 2 years. It's like, hey, I want that promo. Here's, make packaging. Here's this. Maybe he didn't have them. They just talked about it, and he's like, I want that card made. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And let's not forget he has a playmat that's worth a bunch of money. That was the first special promo that he had. It's a playmat with him in a lavender robe or whatever. Not lavender, purple, I think, but royal purple.
I think those had already dried up before I started, so I didn't.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know. But I do agree they have to do something with the LGS.
I mean, I'm glad that he at least mentioned the 3% of the LGSs that were willing, because I mean, those are the people that really risked anything.
Yes.
The people that bought product, that have one door open, that that mom and pop shop that just put $1,000 into a game that they don't know if it's any good. Those are the people that I want to see them get the promo first. I think that's what I'm upset about. I want them to get the 2-year promo.
If there's 2,000, like they said, active stores, I want them all to get special promos, because in 2 years when there's 4,000 or 5,000, they got something special. But again, your completionist friends are going to be pissed that they didn't play back then. Because hopefully this game never gets. It's just overprinted.
Well, I mean,
so I never mind. I'm going down a rabbit hole. That has nothing.
Coming into a game and looking at Black Lotus and being like, well, I can't get that, so I guess I'm not going to play the game.
That's kind of what you're saying, and that you can play that.
But that's a 30-year-old card.
But you can play that piece. You can't play this card. That's my whole thing. It's a fraction of a percentage of people that care about this.
Honestly, if they'd have gave the 2-year promo to the LGSs before they gave it to him, I probably wouldn't even be griping.
No,
I just like seeing the LGSs get there.
I understand, but
because they're the ones that they're the ones that, if things shut down again, are going to need the money. Rudy's got
Right,
it.
but it's set in place where they can't do things like that. That's what I mean. I don't even know how he's doing this. You know what I mean? They're technically not supposed to be able to sell these kits and stuff. Like, there's weird things. Like, this is for sure shitty if you look at it on that line. Because LSS has made it very blatant that, like, LGS can't sell their promo kits. They can't sell these things. They don't want it to be... They want the secondary market to be healthy. This was, like, all things they said. They want the secondary market to be healthy. LGS shouldn't be able to do that. But, like... Or maybe they didn't say... I don't remember, man. Like I said, we went very
They
long.
weren't supposed to sell their...
They're not supposed to sell their kits.
Or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. They're not supposed to sell their kits.
They're not supposed to sell.
But I agree. Again, we agree. I wanted to play devil's advocate. Like I said, I backed out. Like I'm not even in on this. But that being said, as a player, this affects me zero. As a player, this affects me absolute zero.
No, hopefully it'll affect us zero. Like, I don't see any of our gaming shops dropping it, but like,
I just
I don't know. I just think it's
the reason people would be dropping this game is because it's not because of what Channel Fireball did to the secondary market. That's why people are going to leave this game. It's not going to be over Rudy's promo. It is the problem with Channel Fireball setting a precedent that boxes are below $50.
Yeah, that's also
that's the problem. Like, and now, and May the Zoo be with you made this a good point. Like, how do you rectify that? Like, Channel Fireball has put it in everybody's head that boxes are under $50. How do you fix that? Like, do people ever want to buy Unlimited again for $75? You know what I mean? Where the LGS gets to make their margin and stuff like that. Because nobody can do it. The people from May the Zoo be with you, they all own LGSs and single markets and stuff like that. And they flat said that it's cheaper. It would have been cheaper when all this was going on to just go buy it from Channel Fireball than getting it from the distributor. They're like just flat out, but they can't find nobody to buy it after that because the boxes are marked so low from what's going on. So there's like big damage there that needs fixed. Like, but again, I just don't think this promo is part of the damage. I think this is fine, and I think it's cool. I think this is a cool thing to watch. Like, this is going to be cool. And when somebody looks at the end of this game 5 years from now and someone tells them about this and there's like, oh man, there's like, 1,000 of these cards, dude burnt 500 of them on this thing, you could watch it. I don't think anything's getting burned either. But let's just say he does. Think about how cool that'd be. To be like, dude, this game, there's this card that just every copy that didn't get bought got destroyed. So there's like this Holy Grail card just in there that you can't play. So it's not even Holy Grail. It's just, a thing. But anyways, like I said, we went long.
Oh yeah.
We went long.